Hi there, Hoka One One athlete Sage Canaday here in another episode of Cooking with Sage. Today we're going to make a plant-based tofu scramble. Now tofu is hard to find these days, but you could use another protein source like tempeh or seitan, or even some beans and rice or any other protein source that would stir fry well on a pan. Alright, let's get started. Alright, step one. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil and preheat this skillet pan, get it nice and hot. Then we're going to prep our veggies. Since it's just me eating this, I'm only going to use about half a block of tofu. It's about 7 ounces. Some other things to get ready. You could wash off any vegetables you have. I'm being fancy today because I have some asparagus, lucky me. Also got some bell peppers, part of an onion, a couple cloves of garlic, things like that. Maybe you only have frozen spinach left though. Frozen corn, stuff like that. I'm also going to add some French fried potatoes. Instead of hash browns, we have frozen French fries, but you could also add potatoes that you cut up as well, and I'll throw it in the stir fry pan. Another great thing to have, and I realize you might not have all these ingredients, is lots of spices. Salt, pepper, I got the fancy white pepper, red pepper flakes work well, cumin, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, stuff like that. And we're just gonna, turmeric, we're gonna throw that all in and kind of make it that orange, bright orange colors. Eat the rainbow, right? All right, let's get stir frying here. French fried potatoes going in. That's pretty good. Also of note, safety concern. Be very careful when you add things that have water, have retained water in them, like veggies washed off or even these French fried potatoes, into hot oil, because it does splatter and it can explode. So don't add water to hot oil. Very dangerous. Step 2, I'm going to chop up these veggies, except for the avocado, and also add them to this pan. Stir fry them around, get them nice and hot, cook them up. Don't let them stick. Alright, time to add in those veggies. Be careful with the water splatter. I turned it down actually a bit so it doesn't stir fry too hot. Add in those chopped veggies and give them a stir. Cook them up. Alright, keep stirring that around. Let them cook for a couple minutes. Let the French fried potatoes crisp up and the veggies cook. Then we're going to add in the tofu, my favorite part. Add in the tofu. We're going to crumble it in. Gonna let it crumble in, give it a good stir around. At this time I'm also going to add in some frozen spinach. Give it a little green. There, we're just basically crumbling that tofu in there. Kind of rinse it off, get some of the moisture out of it. Just crumble it up, much like a scrambled egg consistency. Alright, give that a stir around. Now we're going to add in all the spices. So this is cooking and not baking. So I'm pretty liberal with how many spices I add, and I don't really measure it. Good rule of thumb though is not to add too much turmeric. Or is it turmeric? I don't know how to pronounce it. Probably wouldn't add more than 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, but I do like to layer on the cumin. I like to put in maybe 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, about little dash of pepper, little dash of salt. Depending on how spicy you want it, you could add more or less red pepper flakes, stuff like that. Little dash of salt. Alright, after you've added all your spices, give it a stir around, let it cook for a couple more minutes, do a little taste test. I added a little bit more paprika and cumin to give it that extra spice. Also, you could get your toppings ready. I'm lucky enough to have half an avocado still, as well as some tortillas that I'm going to wrap it in like a breakfast burrito. You might not have tortillas though, so use chips or just eat it plain on a bed of rice. Ooh, I almost forgot. Some real key ingredients, if you happen to have them. Nutritional yeast, real key, adds a cheesy type of flavor, or even a vegan cheese type of alternative to sprinkle on top. Alright, so there's the finished product. Again, I put them on my tortillas. You could use corn chips or just eat it plain like it is. Topped it with a little cheese, avocado. And again, be flexible with the ingredients. I realize a lot of people probably don't have this full type of list or all the spices. Just kind of make it your own. Even got some leftovers there. Alright, so bon appetit. Thanks so much for all your support on here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe and healthy and have the luxury to be able to cook with at least some ingredients at home, sheltering in place. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Some people call it a Kaiser blade, I call it a sling blade, but I reckon I'll have some of these French fried potatoes.